Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm gonna be going over how to build Lego trees. And for those who have Lego cities or small displays, I believe this is gonna be a really nice aesthetic to add to your builds. And so this week, unfortunately, I do not have a Lego City update due to some delays in parts and tables. But this week I will do a little Lego tutorial on these Lego trees. So stay tuned. Alright, so here is how I want to start this. I want to show you how other people have built trees in the past. I'm not going to go over every single type, but I definitely want to show you a couple of variations. So some modulars, as we've seen in the past, kind of goes a very simple like little tree. You can vary the height of it by sliding this up and down. So sometimes they'll put this in a pot and let that be a simple tree. And common pieces that are used are these leaf pieces. It looks very, I don't know, leafy. And it doesn't really look organic like a real tree would, but a lot of times people will use this. So I forget which modular has this tree, but this is something that has been used in previous builds. If you take it a little bit further, you can add these 1x1 round studs, and you can build trees that are a little bit more textured and layered, and it kind of looks like a tree, maybe something that belongs in the forest. And this is slightly different in the sense that these use a slightly smaller leaf piece. If I were to take the last one, there are varying sizes and colors of these guys. So that is how people have tried this one in the past. So I'll keep that right here. Again, there are plenty of other ways people have done Lego trees, but I'm going to show you the way I've done it. And this is the way I've come up and done trees. And no, it's not the best looking or perfect, but this is what I like. And I think I like it because one, it gives you a lot of dimension and layers, but I like it because it actually adds real leaves. And so if you have a top view, a side view, it looks more like a tree to me than using these swamp pieces. So this is what I want to show you. And again, you can use varying size ones. So I have a smaller stud count. I think the other one had 6 and this one is 4. So if I were to plant it here, you can see there's a varying height in trees. And so, you know, when that happens, again, you take a look at this park, and you can really kind of, from an aerial view, see that it looks more real and organic, in my opinion. And you can put it in your cities, and it looks more appropriate for cities than, you know, sticking a bunch of these guys in the middle of your city. And I don't know if this park would look as nice if you do that, but I guess it just depends on the terrain that you have. So here are all the pieces you're gonna need. This is the dark brown 1x1 tile, round tiles, and you can use different color ones. I just chose dark brown. You definitely want one of these rods with the bump in here, but if you don't, you can use you know, just wand pieces that are slightly shorter like this. But this is gonna drive how much leaf and branches you can add. So there's that one. You're gonna need these leaf pieces, smaller ones. And again, the tree that I have built, this is using these smaller leaf pieces. So if you want to create a bigger tree, feel free to do so. Again, if I were to compare it to a minifig size, I think that the smaller one does it justice, but if you did want various sizes, you can use the larger leaf pieces. So there's that guy. And then last but not least are these leaf and flower pieces. I don't, I'm gonna put the part numbers either on the video straight or just down below. But these are really nice. It has a little bit of curvature and it has a tri-leaf split. A lot of people use it for flowers. In the most recent police shop, I believe they use it as a bush as well. So yeah, this is just nice technique. And yeah, so basically you're just gonna need these 4 pieces, and then anything extra that you want to experiment with, that's what you want to do. So to begin with, you want to just grab a few of these round tiles or round bricks, and you just basically stagger it together and create a tree trunk. And again, it really can just depend on how tall you want it, and this you can adjust later on. I usually start with 5 right in between, and depending on the needs of your city or whatever you're using this for, you can add or subtract studs a little later. And I bought these brand new off of Bricklink, so these are very tight fit. If they weren't, I would recommend putting a rod in here, but mine are very well stuck together, so I'm not going to do that. And then you get this rod piece, and again you have the edge with the little nub and stud here and the free end. And so I'm going to put the stud all the way through, and you're going to have your basic tree branch or trunk. And again, I had one pre-made, but that's kind of the basis you're going to start with. And then from here, we're going to grab one of these leaf pieces, and we're just pretty much going to use all the holes to start putting in your leaf pieces. And again, remember, this is a tree. A tree isn't symmetrical. It's not the same. So you definitely want to move it around, change the angles, and do that. So from a basic, that's what you want. Again, this is very symmetrical, but again, you can play around with it, make it asymmetrical. And it looks better if you make it non-symmetrical, right? So, shift the leaves, make some downward, make some inward. And you're gonna repeat this process over and over. So you can see slightly differing variations, and you're gonna stack it. So what I like to do here is I like to add the first 2 layers, and I usually put it in like a 3-way configuration, if that makes any sense. So I'll put the first layer, second layer, so you see that, and then let me do a 3rd one. Oop, that's something that I was messing with. So again, just add your leaves. Again, the more random, the more realistic it's gonna look. And just mess around with it, have fun. And I'm gonna add these 3 layers. Again, it looks bare, and as you can see, it'll spiral upwards, right? And again, it's not always the best looking when it's spiral. You kind of want it as much to make it look layered. And so what I actually do is below here, actually let me show you here, it might be better. So some of these studs, like here, are only the internal studs. So meaning that you can only put a brick on top, and it's flat on the other side, so you can't really put another stud on the bottom. But the main big studs, you can put one on top, and you could also put one below. And so the way I do it is I start layering, so if this looks a little empty, I'll throw a piece under here, and if I still want some more depth to it, I'll add some more. Again, changing the direction of it, making it a little bit look nicer. And it kind of helps even out the looks of it. And again, you kind of want to just look at how the fillings are. So again, you can kind of play with this too. So you can add pieces on top. and kind of fill in the middle parts. And basically, there's no right answer for this, right? You just want to kind of layer it in and do that. So, you know, it covers it. And again, you're going to put about 2-3 sets of 3. So you probably put 3, 6, and maybe 7 or 8 up here, depending on the amount of leafage that you're going to put. Something that I do want to mention is you noticed that most of the first layer, I added it this way, right? Where the point is going outward. But that is not the only solution. It's usually, depending, maybe the first one I make it actually symmetrical, so I'll invert it and kind of fill in those empty crevices. So I'll do that. I'll do that. And it kind of varies, right? And you can imagine all the leaves coming out. But there is no rule. And actually, I would prefer not to have rules. And you can use any of these other holes to make it look more randomized. So it's okay to have it randomized, and it looks better that way. And I've done that with a lot of trees, because when I create trees, I don't want to have them all look the same, because no two trees look the same in real life. So again, I layer these all in, and then I start building them on. And then I recommend putting the leaves on first, the light green leaves onto the branch. I'll call these the branch pieces, and then putting them on. It's a lot harder to try to, you know, put the pieces on while these are all in place. So I recommend you doing that. And just do it piece by piece, go slowly, and kind of check the looks of how it fills in, if there's any gaps or anything like that. And so that's what I do. And then let me remove the top here. Oops. So you get a few layers in. I think this is what, 6 layers. So you know, you want to fill in the cracks. I actually broke some while taking it apart. So usually for the top piece, I will completely cover the piece with all leaves, and then I'll invert 2 of them on the top to really give a full coverage on the top. So you can hardly see the internal organs or whatever branches. So with that little space, I don't like to put it on top, because it'll shift everything over and it doesn't look as nice unless you need that balance. Again, you just want to look it out. So usually I'll just I'll like use a side piece, and then kind of use that, and kind of, you know, this is Lego, so everything moves. And yeah, like that looks like really good coverage for me. Maybe this one sticks out a little bit, and that's okay because it's a tree. You can also just tuck it away if that looks better. And yeah, and then I usually just spend a little bit of time going here. So, you know, this part looks a little empty, so I'm gonna add like a little foliage here. And then you kind of just like look it up and look around and keep adding. And so if you want some more height, you can add it onto the top, etc., etc. Oh man, yeah. So that is the tree tutorial. And yeah, have fun with it. I mean, you know, I've, again, what do you call it, from previous builds, if I remove this one, like I had a little bird piece, and it looks pretty cool. And no two trees for me are the same size or the same build. They all look slightly different. Like this one's a lot more flat. This one is a lot taller in the foliage. Sometimes I'll have taller ones, lower ones, and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the tutorial for the Lego trees that I've built. So yeah, guys, as you can see, I've implemented those trees all over my city, as you've seen in my previous Lego City updates. I think it just gives a little more vibrance and pop to your city. I think without trees, the city does look a little bit incomplete. And also excuse my construction and all the mess as I prepare for the expansion. But yeah, I think adding trees and adding trees adds character to your city, and you are more than welcome to use it in displays or whatnot. You don't need to have a city to use these trees. If you wanted to just add it to a modular right in front of a single modular, or you want to add it to a single display, that's completely fine. But yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. If you guys enjoyed that tutorial, I can do plenty more for some other things that you can implement to the city. But yeah, if you like this, please give it a thumbs up. And please subscribe for more content in the future. Once my tables come in, there will be plenty of Lego City updates, build reviews. I did buy a lot of sets to add to the new city, but haven't built it because of the lack of room right now. And then turn on the notification bells so that you know when the new videos are going to come out. My goal is to upload at least once a week, if not more if I have the time. So thank you guys so much. Hopefully you enjoyed that tutorial. And until next time, peace.